What has been achieved to me is worthy of praise and emulation.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all, depending on your time, location, and when you meet this video. So in this video, I'll be showing you what Arise TV crew member has said concerning Dangote refinery with Tinubu's gas and oil plan in Nigeria. In fact, looking at what the RFI said particularly, I think that guy is making a lot of whole sense. You know, in this particular video, I don't want to talk much. I don't want to be talking much on my videos. Good video is good video. So if you like my content, please just do me this favor. Always share it and let other people follow you and watch it, because I don't post anyhow. Whatever you see me post, I've gone through it and see that is what's letting you guys to know. That's why I post it on my channel and also my page. So let me not talk much on this video. Let me allow you guys to watch this video, and also drop your comments, share and like. Please follow my page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Trend TV on YouTube and this DJKN on Facebook page. So let me allow you guys to watch the video, drop your comments and know if what these guys are saying are true or not. So what's your own opinion? So thank you guys for watching, and for the returning subscribers, thank you so much, and for the new subscribers and followers, thank you so much for joining the family. See you in my next videos. Bye.
What has been achieved to me is worthy of praise and emulation. But I must make it very clear, as far as I'm concerned, provision of goods and services is the responsibility of government or leaders of nations. Because leaders are citizens that are citizens like you and I, elected and handed over their economic, political, and social destinies to manage in national interest. And to that extent, it is the responsibility of leaders to take care of individual and corporate citizens. And when you talk about provision of goods and services, fine, Dangote is a private initiative. To me, private initiatives are not after the provision of goods and services because they love citizens. They are after profit maximization and cost minimization. Cost minimization and profit maximization. And if in the process there is a need for human resource to aid them, they do that. Because as far as I'm concerned, if somebody constructs a factory or an industry in a community, and that investor, of course, is a private initiative, he didn't or she didn't do that because they love the citizens. They did that because based on their feasibility studies, they are likely going to maximize profit and minimize cost. Then for Dangote, of course, is something great for Nigeria, is something great for the West African sub-region. I also feel it's something fantastic for the continent of Africa and the global oil and gas industry, especially the downstream. But when I hear people saying, oh, Dangote is coming to solve the problems of downstream sector in Nigeria, I tell them to, hey, hold on. Nobody is even asking where Dangote got the funds from. As far as I'm concerned, you can get the funds from either of two sides, either from creditors. If Dangote got the funds from creditors, Dangote must pay the cost of debt. The only way Dangote can be able to do that is for Dangote to maximize profit, minimize cost. And if Dangote got the funds from shareholders, dividends must be paid to shareholders. And the only way to do that is by maximizing profit. But at the end of the day, Dangote initiative is going to help in bridging what I can best describe in this context as energy sufficiency or energy gaps. That's what, because the refinery will take care of the liquids, well, excluding the cooking gas, it will take care of liquids like petrol, diesel, kerosene, aviation fuel. Then the petrochemical is going to take care of so many other things that will help in boosting our GDP. But we should bear it at the back of our minds that private initiatives are private initiatives. At the end of the day, they will comply with their civil responsibilities of paying taxes and levies. That will help the revenue, which I totally agree with. But private initiatives are private initiatives. National initiatives must come from government and leaders of nations. I notice this dumb argument, when you're discussing with people you thought are technocrats, but they are probably praise singers, And I'm saying this because I noticed that when you really discuss with so many people, as far as restructuring mechanisms are concerned of nations, many people don't know the difference between deregulation and liberalization. If you ask them the difference between commercialization and privatization, they won't be able to tell you. And that's why I hear people saying the telecom sector was privatized or was deregulated. Is not correct. But I don't want to dwell on that. I just want to tell you that as far as I am concerned, it is the duty of government to have state-owned functional refineries or refining facilities. In the days of Gaddafi of Libya, state-owned refineries were functional. If you go to Iran, they exist. If you go to Iraq, if you go to Malaysia, if you go to Saudi Arabia, if you go to Indonesia, if you go to Qatar, they exist. I have not heard about a barrel. A barrel is, of course, the unit of measurement of crude oil. I have not heard about a barrel of crude oil being stolen in the Libya of Gaddafi, or in Saudi Arabia, or in Malaysia, or in Qatar, or anywhere. I have not heard about a pipeline vandalization in any of these countries. As far as I'm concerned, state-owned refineries work, and that's why they are there. And when I hear people are saying, even if we were to have our own functional refineries, state-owned refineries, they're supposed to be supplied crude at international price, I get surprised also. The international price has to do with cartel. Cartel comes in because there is a need to protect members. Local consumption has nothing. The way and manner they take care of their respective internal domestication concerns have nothing to do with the philosophy of the cartel. That's why even when you talk about crude oil, you have the quantity that is regulated by the cartel for sale to the international market. And that's why our condensate is not under the control of the cartel. But when I hear people saying even the crude oil must be supplied to local, no. But for Dangote, because it is a private initiative, you have to do that. The commissioning was done yesterday. Fantastic. Now the next thing will be the practical crystallization of activities. I will expect to see refined petroleum products that we technically call distillates. But another thing again that I will say is this. As far as I am concerned, the next question for industry watchers like me is, now we need to convey and deliver crude to the refineries. How do we intend to do that? Are the pipelines ready for delivery? It's a question. If we're not going to use pipelines, are rail lines and wagons available? And if we can say work in progress, when will that happen? Are we going to use tankers and trucks? And if we're going to use tankers and trucks, what happened to the already existing congestion on roads like Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the kind of soil chemistry that we had in this part of the country and what we are seeing? Those are the kind of things that will concern people like me. The biggest mistake, the quote me that I said, and let time, history, and posterity judge. Where are the greenfield refineries that we were promised? Where are they? We can't see them. Before the removal of subsidy, a liter of diesel was like about 80 Nigerian naira. We were told that once the subsidy was removed, there was going to be competitive pricing, we're going to see investors and the rest. Today, a liter of diesel is close to like 800 Nigerian naira. Quote me that I said there are no investors. Let anybody prove me wrong. The only thing we have experienced has been the collapse of strategic industrial sectors, collapse of strategic commercial sectors, and the collapse of strategic domestic sector. And strange enough, even the Finance Act, the only thing we experience about the Finance Act is just adding and increasing taxes. Even people, those who were supporting the government and the Finance Bill and Acts, have seen it now. So the biggest mistake, the coming regime, whoever the Almighty will crown, effective 29th of May, 2023.
You have a doubt about that?
No, I said effective. I don't know who will be crowned. And I said whoever the Almighty crowns, effective that day. the biggest mistake that person will do is to remove subsidy on the price of the only remaining product. Nobody will show us the values we have derived by removing subsidy on the price of aviation fuel, apart from mass sack, mass cancellation of flights and delays. Nobody will show me anything that we have gained from even the removal of subsidy in the price of kerosene. Sometimes I hear people saying we are not doing well because we are a monoproduct economy, and I ask, is Saudi Arabia a di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, deca product economy? The answer is no. Is Indonesia a deca product economy? The answer is everything is based on the initiative, creativity, and dexterity of leaders, whether people accept it or not. As far as the oil and gas industry is concerned, whether you're talking on land activities, swamp, shallow waters, and deep offshore, we are experiencing leadership mismanagement and leadership docility, and it's not going to take us anywhere. Show me one OPEC member nation that has comatose refineries. Show me one OPEC. Venezuela. No, you see, the mistake everybody is doing is this. The biggest mistake anybody will do is to compare Venezuela with any OPEC member nation. Venezuela is confronting a superpower. That's a political conflict. You said I should show you. So okay, show me, but I've given you the reason. What Venezuela is going through, if Nigeria were to experience 1/10 of that, Nigeria will be wiped out of the map of the globe. I mean, Nigeria has been... What will happen to us? People like us. Okay, what will happen? No, don't put I can't even explain. We have been reduced to a country of melancholies because this is a country where you produce so much beans. But if there is a need for you to buy akara, you go to somebody who does not even cultivate at all. We have been reduced to a country where you produce so much cassava. If you need cassava flour or gari, you have to go to somewhere and meet somebody who does not even cultivate at all to buy. Start with decarbonization, and I want to ask a simple question. Very simple question. Will there still be road construction? Will people still ride cars? Will there be cars? Okay, what happened? Will you require bitumen during construction? How do you get the bitumen? By the time those people answer those questions, we will be done and dusted. I can tell you, as far as I am concerned, when people start, a lot of those who are selling these ideas to you, petrol is not part of their problem. Basic electricity is not part of their problem. Cooking gas is not part of their problem. But you're talking about a country like Nigeria with all the endowments. Okay, look at the recent discoveries around Gongola Basin, Kolmani. Recently around the Benue Trough, Nasarawa State. Even the Lagos belongs geologically to what we call Dahomey Basin. It is within Nigeria that you will know that it is not the volume of endowments that you have, but it's the creativity of your leaders. You're talking about a country of 200 million citizens, right? Apart from the strategic sectors, relying on less than 10,000 megawatts of electricity. Do you expect anybody to tell you that you will run into energy crisis? You're talking about a country where the last time Nigeria constructed a refinery was in 1990 or 1989, 34 years ago. Do we need anybody to tell us that we're going to run into energy crisis? When we went into democratic governance, you're talking about 24 years. Even if it will take 10 years to construct a single refinery, Nigeria should be having 2 at least functional refineries. But what we keep saying is this: Nigeria is a member of that cartel called OPEC. Okay. Right? Why are other OPEC member nations not having similar problems? Okay. Nigeria is a member of gas exporting countries forum.
In terms of how realistic? 2 points. And what
no, it's not going to be realistic. It's not possible because...
So it's not possible at all?
It's not, because I've told you about the number of rigs at the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not going to be realistic. We've never produced over 2.5 million barrels per day. Never, ever. So it's not going to be realistic. A couple of questions. Now, let's talk about, and just to fact check you, I was just teasing
No
you
worries.
when I said Venezuela. Venezuela actually has working refineries. In fact, they have the third largest refinery in the world.
And we knew what happened to Maduro.
Yeah. So, but
And Hugo Chavez.
No. So let's talk about, subsidy now. What now happens to about the 11, trillion subsidy bill?
Let me answer it. The first question
Very
is,
briefly, please.
subsidy is a globally accepted economic pain cushioning concept. Subsidy is not a Nigerian concept. And if subsidy does not work in Nigeria, that will never invalidate the universal relevance. And let me give you a practical example. The only reason why you have the Nigerian army, even though they were not those who killed Shekau, you have the Navy, civil defense, you have the security agents, is because there is a need to provide subsidy in security. The only reason why you have teaching hospitals, federal medical centers, dispensaries, is because there is a need for government to provide subsidy in health. The only reason why you have public universities, polytechnics, and secondary schools is because there is a need for government to provide subsidy in education.
Okay, so land on the point.
So
what's your take on it?
I want to do the biggest mistake this government will make is to say they will not provide subsidy in energy.
Well, except that Balazaka.
Yes.
After June 30, or is it May 29, as we've been told, we'll be facing debt to service ratio of over 40 trillion, ways and means of over 22 trillion, serious debt. So if we don't remove fuel subsidy, who is going to fund that subsidy you are arguing for?
Okay, the question is this: what would have happened if we didn't even have crude oil at all? That's the question we will ask. What if we didn't have crude oil at all?
Thank you so much.
What will have happened?
Thank you.
Are we going to go into slavery and extinction?
Thank you.
Put your thing.